So in the last video we just discussed 8051 has two timers or counters, timer 0 and timer 1. Both can be worked as a timer or counter. Now let us study how to decide whether it is working like a timer or counter. Who will decide that? And it is totally responsible for the timer mode or the T-mod register and T-con register collectively. Now first we shall learn what do you mean by T-mod register. So T-mod register is a 8-bit special function register and its internal format is like this. So D0 to D7, so 8 bits are there. So first 4 bits, the higher 4 bits, D7, D6, D5, D4, it is dedicated to timer 1. D3, D2, D1, D0, it is dedicated to timer 0. And the same 4 bits are repeated again. If you see D7, D6, D5, D4, it is similar again with the D3, D2, D1, D0. Now let us understand the meaning of gate C/T bar M1 M0 for both the case. For both the case, that is for timer 1 and timer 0, it is same. Now let us see gate pin. So what is the function of this gate? So for this gate bit, it controls or it decides in two ways. Either can be hardware way or software way. If the gate bit is 1, then it activates a hardware control. When gate bit is 0, it activates the software control. Whether the timer should start or stop will be decided through hardware or through software, depending upon the gate bit. So if you want to clearly understand that, you need to know that gate bit along with TR bit of the T-con register, which we will study later, but just remember here, when TR bit is set and gate is 1, then timer or counter will run only while interrupt pin is high, that is through hardware. And second case is when gate is 0 and timer or counter will run only while TR is equal to 1 in T-con register, that is software control. So when gate is 0, it is software control. When gate is 1, it is hardware control. Next, coming to C/T bar bit. So this will decide whether the timer 0 or timer 1 is working like a counter or timer. So if C/T bar is 1, then it acts as counter. So you need to see which bit. Either it can be D6 or D2. So if D6 bit, that is, if D6 bit is 1, then we can say timer 1 is acting like counter. If D2 bit is 0, that is timer 0 will be acting like a timer. Understood? So C/T bar will decide whether it is acting like counter or timer for either timer 1 or timer 0. Next, you have M1 M0 bits. So these bits will decide the mode of operation of the timer or the counter. There are 4 different modes of operation. So M1 M0, if it is 00, then it acts as mode 0 and it is a 13-bit timer mode. 01 means mode 1, it means 16-bit timer mode. 16-bit timer mode means if it is working like a counter, then it counts from 0000 to FF. All the 16 bits of the timer 0 or timer 1 will be used in mode 1. If M1 M0 is 10, then it we call it as mode 2 of operation or mode 2 operation. It is a 8-bit timer mode. So 8-bit timer mode means timer 0 or timer 1 has 16 bits, but in this mode only the lower 8 bits will be used for timer or counter, and in detail we will study later. M1 M0, if it is 11, then we call it as mode 3 operation, and mode 3 operation has a name split timer mode. For your syllabus you have only mode 1 and mode 2 programming, so we will discuss mode 1 and mode 2 programming later. Now let us just see what is the internal structure of the TCON register. So internal structure of the TCON register or the timer control register is see, it is also again 8-bit registers D7, D6, D5, D4, D3, D2, D1, D0. D7 to D4 it is dedicated for timers or counters. The fields inside D7 to D4 will decide some functions of the timers and counters, but D3 to D0, D3, D2, D1, D0, these are for interrupts. So for this module, only the first 4 bits or the higher 4 bits are important for timers and counters. D3, D2, D1, D0 it is for interrupts, which we will study in module 5. So let us look into the timer fields TF1 and TF0. This TF means timer overflow flag. If timer overflow flag is 1, then we say overflow has been occurred. Overflow means if the count is from 0000 to FFFF, after FFFF again it counts from 00. That particular action we call it as rollover, or you can say overflow, and when that happens TF flag becomes 1. If TF flag becomes 1, the program comes to know that overflow has been occurred. So TF1 and TF0, it is just for indicating that there is a overflow. And TR1 and TR0, so timer run 1, timer run 0. Timer run 1 means it is for timer 1 register, and TR0 it is for timer 0. So here if TR1 or TR0 is 1, then we say the timer has started. For that we need to use the instruction set bit TR1 or set bit TR0 in the program. Or if TR1 or TR0 is 0, then you can say timer has to stop. So these are the main 4 bits which is considered or which is for timer or counter. But for interrupts you have IE1, IT1, IE0, IT0. That is for interrupts. I will not discuss in detail about this because again we will study it in module 5. So here briefly I will just say that IE1, IE0 is for enabling external interrupts. Here E represents edge flag, and second IT1, IT0, it is also again external interrupt signal type control bit. So here E represents the edge flag, means the rising edge or falling edge. From the it will decide whether the interrupts will start from the rising edge or from the falling edge, depending on the bits present in the IT1, IT0. So we will not look into more in about this. Just remember that IE1, IE0, IT1, IT0, it is dedicated to interrupts, because again you have in 2 types of interrupts are there, interrupt 1 and interrupt 0, same like timers. So this is about a TCON register.